I came to America first time and somebody asked me, like, what do you think about owning a gun? I said, that is the most empowering thing I've ever heard. Imagine if North Korean people had the guns. They're not going to let them come execute your mom or your children. They're going to shoot them back, even if, it doesn't matter, you're going to get killed anyway. If we had the guns, governments what? Are they going to kill all of us? Then who are they going to rule over, right? It makes no sense for them to kill all of their people. So there's no country ever can do that to their citizens if the citizens have a right to defend themselves.
The state of Connecticut has finally approved a course curriculum in order to obtain a pistol permit in the state. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel, like content, and what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. Once again, PSA Connecticut residents, if you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please get that training done before July 2024, because then after that, it gets longer, harder, and more expensive for no other reason to disincentivize you from going out and getting your permit. If you have your permit, watch the expiration date. Don't let it expire. There is a link to the online renewal portal where you can renew your permit there. Keep an eye on it. Don't let it expire. And let's talk about this. And this is a perfect segue into this segment and what we're going to talk about here. It has been basically reported that the state of Connecticut has officially approved the training curriculum. So USCCA curriculum is now valid in order to obtain training to get a pistol permit. Now, as I pointed out in another video, the NRA has submitted several courses to the state, but there's no word if any of them are going to be approved. There's nothing out there yet. Now, this is a step forward because now we have a curriculum that has been approved. But what's still left out and floating in the air is the actual training requirements. Because if you remember under HB 6667, they were floating the idea of having a 2-hour physical shooting portion for each student. And how that was going to work is that the range where you actually give the training is now being put in a position where they have to keep track with official records and logs stating that you did spend that time, and those logs are open for inspection by the state at any given time. Now, I just had a meeting with one of the ranges that I personally use, and the owner of that facility made it clear that if the state does push this rule through that you must spend 2 hours per student on the range, that he is no longer going to accept outside instructors. Now, I have no grievance whatsoever. That is a business, and he's there to make money, and he can't have his range tied up, because if you think about it, you have 5 students and each one must spend 2 hours on the range. That would then basically hurt his physical business of people who just come in to shoot, because that's range time and the lane time that's taken up with this rule. Now, it hasn't been finalized, and we won't know the actual training requirement until July, potentially. But I suspect that a number of ranges will say, well, if you got to spend 2 hours per student, yeah, that's financially is not going to work for us, which makes me believe, in my opinion, that it is a deliberate action to basically curtail as many instructors as they possibly can, because they can't find facilities to train people who will allow you to stand out there for 2 hours per student. Now, we're going to have to see how this plays out, because I have a real problem with this ideal of pushing people to shoot for 2 hours. You're taking a person who has never shot a gun before and keeping them on a range for 2 hours. Fatigue sets in very quickly, especially somebody who's not familiar with the weight of a firearm being held out in a shooting position. So they feel that 2 hours will give the student enough time to familiarize themselves and to become proficient. I disagree. It's the same thing as when you went to get your driver's license. You took driving classes, but that was over a span of time that made you proficient. This is the same thing. When you don't become Jerry Mikulik after a 2-hour shooting session. It is repeated practice over a span of time that improves your proficiency. You won't take a new student who's getting their driver's license, give them their license, and then put them out on a NASCAR circuit. This is the same thing. Now, I am all for, I'm a firm believer in proper tutelage. I have no problem with that. You should teach your courses properly. But to force somebody to stand on the range for 2 hours is not going to get the desired effect. But once again, I feel that it's just another way for the state to curtail the number of people who will physically go out there and try to obtain a training to then get their pistol permit. Now, this rule is not finalized. We won't know the requirements under this rule probably until July. But as I said in the beginning, if you have the notion that you want to get your pistol permit, I suggest you go out and get your training done before July of this year. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time the video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.